today the topic is finding happiness in all circumstances. So I might need some help from you all. So you can't go too deep in meditation now. I might be asking some questions. So we might have to just I'll need all of your help. This is a satsang. No? When two or more are gathered in his name, God comes, and here the satsang is not a one person's job. It's all together. We all together doing it. So let's see. So happiness. Now we all know, I don't know, today full of my talking will be based on the affirmation for self-healing, what we just read. So what does Swami Kriyananda ji say about what is happiness? Do you all remember? We just heard now. Happiness? Happiness? Okay. Happiness is a state of mind. It's an attitude of mind. It's not something we have to go look for. It's already there. It's an attitude of mind. We were all, like it said, the whole creation. Why was the whole creation came into existence? Do we all know what does the scripture say? Why did the creation come into existence? So the creation came into existence because God wanted to enjoy, or God wanted to, his bliss, he wanted to share that bliss. And so he created this creation so he could feel it. And he became separate things so that he could all come together again. So the reason of this is bliss, happiness. So again, based on the same thing, so we are all children of God. So we all are, in a way, the creations of this happiness, the bliss, embodiments of all these qualities. But somehow, over the incarnations, and from the time we were a diamond or whatever gemstone to all the way till now, there has been so many experiences and so many things that has led us to forgotten these things. And today I'll give you an example of what happened recently. We have a car, and the car started misbehaving recently. Does that happen? Over the years, sometimes it happens, right? So we got to know this car, whenever we used to go to any pilgrimage or any place out of city, and we don't use the car, after 5 days, it used to not start. So we were thinking, is this Satan or God telling us something? But that was not the case. We had to also, many times we have to give our human negligence, which plays a factor here. So what happened then, after some time, it started deteriorating, where even one day, if you don't start the car, the next day it wouldn't start. Then you have to start, and you have to drive for about 40 minutes to spend all the extra fuel so that what's happening is car has a battery. I also recognized recently. So you all might know. So this car battery was dying, draining the entire charge of energy. So head monk Devarshiji said, what are you guys doing? He kept on saying for a month, then nobody listened. Then one day I thought I have to make this a priority. And so we took it to the mechanic. So the mechanic took his some time. Since there were no other customers, he gave me the time, and he started checking for the car. So the car battery, what I'm heading towards is car battery is something also you all might have heard that Yogananda ji said, car battery, how can we recharge? Sometimes energization exercise is a good way to recharge our battery. But what happens, the battery also gives energy to various things. So it's like I got to know that car has many consoles where the battery gives the energy to different consoles. So what is happening? He started checking with some voltmeter, is that? Okay, voltmeter. And he started checking each of the console. So the battery is there, it gives to these different centers of energy. So it gives energy to various centers. So even when you turn off the car, there is still some energy going to all these places. Now after, I think many of us, we are all on this path, and we all know that we all have energy centers in our body. There is energy coming in, and there's all these energy centers in our body, and sometimes energy goes outward, goes downward, but energy, when the energy is flowing well, it's just rising up to the spiritual life. We are all happy, and there's nothing, no person, even your worst enemy, if he comes when you are blissful after a good meditation, he can't even touch you. You stand unshaken amidst the crash of breaking worlds after that, when you're in that experience of movement meditation. To some way, we would have experienced these things. So what is happening here is, now this car battery, this console, he started checking each one of them. So we had a music system which was not working for quite some time. Then he checked it. He said, "Sir, this thing is draining all your energy." Wow. Then we said, "Okay, what shall we do? Anyway, it's not working." "Okay, sir, I'll cut it off, the connection." So he cut it off, and then I drove one day, and after 36 hours, it was a time for testing. And I tested it. The car person, someone comes to clean the car. He knocks on my bell early morning. So from my sleep, I searched for my key and I opened it. And the doors opened. So that was a good thing. The car battery is still functional. Then after some 2 hours, I tried to turn it on. It turned on. So it worked. Whatever that was, what did the mechanic do? He found out where the energy was getting drained off. So in the same way, I was recently meditating. It was a long meditation. After my meditation, I had completed all my techniques and inner communion in some time. Then I started seeing there was still not happiness within me. Then I thought, what is happening? Why am I not happy? Why am I not feeling this joy? I just completed meditation, everything, whatever Guru gave teachings, all the Guru guys are here. What's happening? Then I realized, I started to see, is there somewhere from my energy centers, the energy, something is holding me. Then I remembered, oh, this person is there who is not listening to me. Then I thought, okay, I have to work on this now. Somehow, some Guru's grace were there, then using wisdom, then I started saying, see, if that person is not receptive to you, what is happens? It's Guru's work. He'll find someone else or he'll give you the energy to do it. Why are you worrying so much? Then when I said that and when I consciously did that, somehow that energy that was going out stopped. At least I felt better. Then I started seeing anything more. Then I thought, okay, why? I have this desire now to go to this place. I want to go to Ananda village now. It's a good desire. But again, now, if you place your happiness on something else, anything, then something happens. Happiness is, what did we hear? It's an attitude of mine. So then I thought, okay, God, again, this I'll leave up to you. You make it happen when it needs to happen. I don't have to clear out details. I know you can make it happen better. Then when I said that, again, it felt better. So then I saw anything else. Then I started feeling happy again. What did we read there? Happiness is this like this inner gold that has been covered by the dust of sense cravings. So then I realized, so all these sense cravings, when we take out, the happiness was flowing again. So I would suggest maybe next time, if you're not feeling happy when you get up or going, just see what's happening inside. And if there's something, take your scissor and tuck, 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 cut it and start being happy. Yeah, don't give it too much time then. This is one way I thought. This helped me. So maybe if pray to God, gurus, and something works out, we can do this. And so this is a good thing. And then one more thing is, so here we got to know the energy is flowing. So all of our techniques, what we learn, whatever Yoganandaji, all these our great gurus brought for this age is the Kriya Yoga teachings, the age of energy and Dwapar Yuga. And here the energy flows up. So we become conscious using energization, Hong Sau, we interiorize, then we are able to direct it to the spiritual eye. Like in the Christian teachings, there is the key to the heaven. In many ways, we have been given the key to the heaven. But it takes some time. I know. I've been on the spiritual path quite some little few years now. I know over the years, it just gets better. Somehow you're able to relate to that joy better. Is that correct? Have you all been feeling already? I don't know how many months have you all been? Huh? Yes. Okay, very good. So even a month is doing some difference or okay, very good. See, yeah, just a month. Then think of some 10 years, 20 years. Yeah, even that 11-year-old son who thinks that we might become babas or something, even he'll realize, okay, something is working for my mother. She's not getting angry. I don't have to tell her to breathe whenever she gets angry. Yeah, this is great. Yeah. So then I remembered there is one more thing about happiness. Sometimes what happens is you all have, okay, now I'll tell you one more small story now. This is about a king. We'll bring king into our story sometimes. So king is there and he has a good person who cuts his hair very well. He likes him very much. He also gives a good massage to his head. So even if he doesn't get his hair cut, he calls him every 15 days. I have so much responsibilities, these things, my head becomes hot. You just come and give me a massage. So he does it. And after some years, the king wanted to give him something out of love. So he said, see, Ramu, I'm going to give you something, a small gift. So in the king's court, there were all these lockers, which was not being used now. Just think of like gym lockers or swimming lockers. There are all these lockers, all have different locks, different keys. But he said, I'm going to give you a key. I've forgotten where exactly which locker it is. But you take this key and keep it safe. It will be the key to all the treasures that I wish to give to you. Hold on to this. But these lockers were not being used now. So he had to go and he had to check. But he also was very careful that people should not see him when he's checking. So he went to his home, and there was a granary in village times. There is this place where they store all the grain. It's mostly covered in darkness. There's not too much light. But also, this is a time when also some higher age where there's some electricity. So he had a bulb there. So, okay, he went. Okay, he said, okay, today I'm feeling lazy. I'll put the key there. And then I'll just keep safeguarding it every once in a while. And he kept doing his work. He was going on well. Then after some days, he comes back. He checks the key again. And after some days, he comes and, okay, this time I'll look at the key much more. He starts feeling the key. Okay, this is the key. But until you don't open the lock, you don't get the treasure. We know that. But he's still playing around with it. And suddenly, something happens. A cat comes, jumps around, and something happens, and a fuse blows out. The light goes off in the building, in this particular granary. And somehow, then there was not too many electricians. Just think of that. Yeah, electricians. And then the key falls onto the ground. It jumps and goes somewhere and falls. For some reason, there's less oxygen in the room. He brings a lamp, the lamp blows out. So he tries to look for the key everywhere. He's not finding the key. So he goes out of the house. So he thought maybe the key has somehow fallen somewhere outside. And he starts searching for the key. He finds something in the sand after long search. He goes to the locker, tries to open. He opens something. Luckily, he finds some slippers he finds. Yeah. Next time he tries to go to the locksmith and he says, give me a key. I need to find the king's key. But which locker? He doesn't know anything. So he says, okay, there's many keys from the old times. Take it. And he tries everything. It's opening so many lockers. There is some snacks. There is something else. There is some clothes. Yeah, he's still wondering, what did the king give? And then he's like, he's really searching. Do you all know the first sentence in the autobiography of Yogi? The characteristic features of Indian culture have been search for ultimate truths and then concomitant disciple-guru relationship. So first thing is we are going to search for the truth. Now he's really wanting to know what is there, what is that treasure. King is like like an angel for him. So what would the higher being would have given me? So now he's trying to look for it. And now what he does after that, when he craves for it so badly, for the ultimate truth, sometimes what comes in our life, we all get autobiography of Yogi, or we get the guru's guidance. In the same way, now he's outside his home, scratching his head. It's a hot summer day. And he's again, okay, let me still do something. And he's searching for the key outside his house. And he has a teacher. He doesn't know he's like a guru. He's a guru who is enlightened one. Somehow the teacher doesn't reveal he's enlightened one to the villagers. So he's just walking. He asks Ramu, what's happening? He said, oh, sir, I'm just searching for a key. I'm just searching everywhere. I'm not finding it outside searching for it. Then the guru asks him, where did you lose the key? He said, inside. What are you doing outside? Sir, it's so dark. I can't find it. So I'm searching it outside. So then I realized, okay, there is something more happening. Sometimes we all have this happiness that's flowing now after we cut off all these things. But what happens? We are all having this old habits. We have indulged in many senses. We have overate. So what happens many times when we are not finding happiness? I go to the shop, I buy 5 Lays packet. I bring it. Then sometimes what we do, we turn on the TV. Okay, which is my favorite movie today. or something else. We indulge in something else or go something. Okay, we try to do all these things to trying to find that happiness. What happens when we're not finding the key inside the house? We go outside and start finding for it. Sometimes it works temporarily. You find some snacks, you find some clothes, you find some shoes. But where is the real happiness now? What we have been learning? Inside. Is that so? So what happens then finally? The guru, he's a guru, so he fixes the fuse. So then the light turns on, he goes for the key, then he opens it, and he sees this is scroll, which gives him all the teachings of Kriya Yoga and things, and he starts practicing. So again now, what happens in our lives? So we have been going for the teachings outside and like in the sense for the happiness outside. So there is all these habits that have been formed. So it's not easy when we get into a mood or something. Then what can we do then? I know it's so hard because we are used to finding happiness outside. So what we do, we just jump into those things first. But it's again so hard. So then we pray to Guru. What we all can do. I'm just thinking, do you all have any suggestions now? What can we do in case we are already stuck in the mud and we're searching for the key outside? For some reason, we are not able to find it inside. What can we do? Renuji. Pray to God. Yeah, that's very important. What happens when you pray to God? Your heart opens, the energy starts flowing up. Yeah, anything else? Happiness is not focused on the outward situations, is what it says, not on outward achievements, nor on any person or thing or yeah. I think that's a secret there. Somehow, if we start placing our happiness in other things or any other thing outside ourselves, it doesn't work. And sometimes it's helpful that when we don't feel it, we can use all this support. And again, then you'll start to realize over the spiritual path as we keep practicing these teachings, it helps us to somehow keep coming back at a quicker pace. Even if you fall down, it doesn't take you 10 days to get up now. Over the time, you'll start to realize, Haridas ji, I was hearing a satsang recently, he said, I give myself 5 minutes, I allow it to go to moods. After 5 minutes, I say, no, come on, you can't do this anymore. That's all he gives. But we give maybe few hours, few days sometimes. Let's also, I think, but this is a good thing. Over the years, as we all keep practicing these techniques and this each time we do Kriya, somehow morning and evening, somehow give that time for meditation. Even that small time where we start feeling that joy. When you have the joy, we can share it with others. And then we are all again happy. And then we are finding happiness within us. The car battery is not getting drained anywhere. We just make sure of that. And then we also make sure of the inner key where to find happiness. And if you're not finding it, take the support of God, Guru Bhais, everyone, Gurus, and we'll start trying to find happiness again.